What's the most unusual or quirky property you've come across?
I think probably the most quirky property that I've seen on A Place in the Sun is a place in France that we thought was haunted. I wouldn't say it was quirky. We do sometimes see like bizarre ornaments, like houses with like lots of weird dolls, and that's probably as quirky as it gets.
What's your favourite travel hack that you've picked up over the years?
I literally have so many travel hacks. I have travelled with my children since they were 3 weeks old, so I would like to think that I'm a bit of an expert when it comes to travelling with kids. I found so many amazing products along the way, but I think when you are travelling, if you're on and off airplanes or in and out of cars, keeping your skin hydrated is really important, and drinking loads of water. So I'd say they're good travel hacks.
What's the funniest thing that has happened to you while filming?
Right, okay, so the funniest thing that's ever happened to me whilst I have been filming was when I was in Barcelona once. So we were filming with a couple looking for a property near Barcelona. We were in a square and we were stood there doing our upsync, which is what we do before we take the house hunters to the property. So the three of us were standing in a line, and then just all of a sudden this man just came and stood next to me and was just like pretty much shoulder to shoulder, was just like looking at me. And then like looking at them, and then looking at me, and I was like, "You all right? Do you want to be in the filming?" And then he just walked off. I don't know if he was Spanish, I don't know if he was English, but it was a little bit strange.
What country has your favourite local food?
I love my food. So one of my favourite things about doing A Place in the Sun is when we go to different destinations, I get to try the local cuisine. We obviously film a lot in Spain. It's the #1 destination for people to buy property. So I love Spanish tapa. And I would say I'm a big fan of gambas pilpil, which is garlic prawns. So much so, when I was pregnant with my daughter Talia, it's literally all I ate. And now my daughter Talia loves garlic prawns.
What's your favourite souvenir you've picked up while filming?
I love picking up different bits and pieces on a filming location, just because it's like a little memory of me being in that place. I once did a show for Channel 4 called The Jump, where I learned to ski jump. And I picked up an antique curling rock from Austria that I use as a doorstop in my property at home.
What's your favourite part about meeting house hunters?
I think my favourite part about meeting house hunters is knowing that you are potentially going to be playing a big thing in changing their lives. I love it when I meet them or they always say to me, "You're a lot shorter. You're a lot shorter than I thought you were in real life." Yeah, I'm only 5'2".
What destination has surprised you the most while filming?
Oh, one of the destinations that surprised me the most whilst filming, and we haven't been there in a long, long time, is South Africa. I couldn't believe the value for money you get in South Africa. I was so lucky that I got to film there for 2 weeks. And so 2 episodes, and some of the places we saw were just unbelievable.
Can you remember the very first property you filmed in?
I can absolutely remember my first ever episode of A Place in the Sun. I was in Torrevieja and we ended on a high because my house hunters bought the property. And I'd love to know how they are. I'm not in contact with them anymore, but I would love to know if they still own it and if they're still loving it now as much as they did when I showed it to them back then.
What's the most valuable tip you've learned from house hunting over the years?
I think when it comes to single most valuable tip, that is very, very difficult to answer because there are so many things that I would love to advise my house hunters on. First of all, I guess I would say do your research and properly find out what the location is like year round, because in the winter months a destination could be very, very different compared to the summer months. So that is a tip. And I would also this is another one, so it's a bit cheeky to sneak another one in. But think about your budget, because your budget is going to be very, very different. There are 17 different costas, 17 different regions in Spain, and your budget to get you what you want is going to be very different depending on the costa you choose.